Finally, a good Disney movie. Alright, so, The Little Mermaid. We are finally out of Schlump number 1. And we are finally in the Disney Renaissance. Actually, literally, after 50 years of after Snow White, leading up to this movie, we apparently only had about 3 Disney princess movies. Not counting Alice in Wonderland because she's not a princess. But we had 3 Disney animated princess movies. Snow White, Cinderella, and Sleeping Beauty. And the last one being in 1959. So we haven't had a Disney animated princess movie in over, 30 years. Here, they're going back to basics, man. This whole movie was enthralled with Disney publicity. Why? Because Disney was about to go under. Its animation department was about to die. And with this movie, they pushed so much publicity, they pushed so much of everything. They put everything, their heart and their soul, into this movie and publicizing this movie as the return of Disney animation. The return, going back to basics. Did it pay off? For the most part, yes, it did pay off. And to the 2 people that do not know what Little Mermaid is, it's pretty much Cinderella, I guess, but with a different twist. Okay, so Ariel lives in the sea with her father, King Trident, and her many sisters. Yeah, there's a little something in there. But anyway, she wants more out of life. The first Disney princess to actually want something more out of life and actually take something out of it. Ariel wants more. She desires more. She's not just happy with her thing right now. She actually goes out by herself, tries to get more from action. She doesn't just sit around waiting for stuff to happen. She goes out and she does it. And that was revolutionary, especially for a Disney princess. So, yeah, she goes to Ursula, trades in her voice for feet, and has to get a prince to like her or love her and kiss her in 3 days. And that's where the Disney similarity, that's where the Disney revolutionary stuff ends, I guess. Whatever. So for 3 days she is getting pretty close, but then Ursula comes in and sabotages the whole thing, and now it looks like Ariel might just be one of those little stubby things that doesn't have life, or that has life or something, but it's just a big waste of nothing. Then Trident appears and she's like, big huge climax, you know, and then Ursula dies when the prince shoves a ship into her stomach or something. By the way, in memoriam, Ursula. And lo and behold, Ariel gets her voice back, gets feet, marries the prince. They all live happily ever after in a big, huge, gigantic rainbow. And if you don't believe me that there's a gigantic rainbow at the end of this movie, there is. There is a gigantic rainbow at the end of this movie. And that's the watered down version of the summary. So let's discuss the good. The animation actually improved, okay? It is so beautiful. Especially since this was like the last movie that Disney made where they didn't have computers animating their movies anymore. This was like their last movie that actually had hand-drawn animation. Hand-drawn everything, paper to the screen. Okay? After this movie, everything was done by computer. Everyone was like drawing on computers now. This was the last movie that they actually had paper to the screen. And it is glorious, man. It is spectacularly beautiful. The places that they have watercolors in this movie, and yes, there are kind of watercolors in here, it works. And when it's blurry, there was a lot of blurriness and watercolors in Oliver and Company, but there wasn't really a lot of substance to it. Like, why is this here? Here, it makes sense. It makes sense why they would use watercolors, because they're in the water. It's watercolors. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense why they would do this. And by all means, the animation is beautiful. They animated every little bubble. And there are so many little bubbles. And when you're underwater, you feel like you're underwater. Yes, they had to outsource to China to have the Chinese animate those little bubbles, but whatever, it still works, man. My gosh, it was beautiful, fantastic animation. The designs are pretty outstanding too. Yeah, it goes without saying, with the animation, the designs are just beautiful. Okay, like I said before, this is the first Disney princess to not slack off and just wait for their prince to, like, save them, I guess. More or less. She does try to do something. She desires more out of life. She doesn't just sit back and like, yep, I got the best life. I'm a princess. Boo-da la 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 la. Waiting for my prince, you know? She's not like that. She actually goes out and does something. And I like that. It's Disney, it's revolutionary, I dare say. So there you go. The sidekicks aren't annoying. You know, Flipper, I actually know their names. They actually have better side characters in this movie. They have like Flounder, they have Cornelius the Crab, you know, or Sebastian the Crab, my bad. Not Cornelius, but I don't know why I was talking about Cornelius for a second, but Sebastian the Crab, Flounder the fish, you know, they're all fantastic. You know, they're all funny. The jokes in this movie actually work as well. It's complementary to the rest of the movie. And it kind of moves the movie along, actually. Which is surprising, because a lot of the other movies, they just threw jokes in, just to throw jokes in, I guess. Here, kind of complements the overall story, I guess. And, Ursula, okay, the villain's great, man. Even though Ursula was designed in the similarity of drag queens, and I don't know if that's PC anymore or whatever, but Ursula is still fantastic, okay? She's in the pantheon of Disney villains, by all means. She is truly spectacular. The design of her, I mean, jeez, man. She's an octopus. That's ingenious, man. The way they designed her is really creepy. Normally, I would probably say that She probably have fins like a regular mermaid, but no, they put octopus legs on her. That is truly fantastic design work. Music. My gosh, man. I thought Oliver and Company's music was okay. Was okay. This movie's music, it is beautiful. We're back to the original Disney music, man. I think the music in this one's probably maybe better because the animation kind of complements the music and vice versa. You know, part of your world, that is a Disney attention grabbing song, man, and it's sung throughout the movie. Little bits and pieces are sprinkled in throughout the movie, you know. Kiss the Girl. Beautiful, man. And the animation complements the music and vice versa again. I mean, every song. I could probably sing for you every song in this movie because every song does the Disney formula for songs. And I'll probably put a video about that probably after this, but still. I mean, it's beautiful, man. The music is truly spectacular. It is. We harken back to the original Disney songs. It's mwah, doing the Italian thing. Mwah, beautiful, beautiful. The overall story is pretty solid. Okay, it harkens back again to the original Disney princess story with a little bit of change, but I get the feeling that they wanted to test the waters a little bit because they've gone through just crappy movies all over the place. So they didn't really know what the heck to do, how to really change it up a little bit. So they did little subtle changes in the overall movie. And since people like that, they did even more, and they did more, and they did more. Beauty and the Beast had like a lot of other changes to it, I've heard. So when I watch that, I'll tell you. But yeah, man, they're trying to test the waters, and I'm not gonna fault them too much for how not proactive that they are, I guess, especially in today's age or in 1980s age. But they're just testing the water, and I'll give it to them for that. Let's talk about Ariel, because this is a good kind of gateway from good to bad. Ariel as a character is okay. Her design is beautiful. I mean, my gosh. But Ariel, basis for the character is okay. However, she doesn't, as I said before, she wants more out of life. She tries to go out and get it, but she doesn't get it all that much. She doesn't learn anything in the end. You know what she learns in the end? She learns that if you complain more, if you complain enough, you'll get what you want. And that's kind of weird. That's kind of bad, I think, because if you actually watch the movie and you take a look, you'll see I'm right, because you complain more. Because all she does is complain. All she does is whine and cry that she wants to go out. She wants more out of life, but she never gets it. She goes behind her father's back and does it anyway. And in the end, she gets her way. That's not really a good message. And yeah, not really a great message, but again, okay, I like Ariel, even though there was a bad message thrown in there. But yeah, there's still kind of a terrible message for little kids, which is why I wouldn't recommend them watching it by themselves. you probably want to be there with them as parents or whatever. If you're a parent of a little kid who wants to watch Little Mermaid, watch it with them. Explain to them that don't whine and cry to always get your way, you know? There you go. Now for the bad. Let's talk about the sexual stuff, because there's some sexual stuff in sexual conspiracies around this movie. For one thing, the penis tower in many of the promotional movie posters. Yeah, you kind of see it in the movie, but then again, it is an actual design for a tower. It's not... They're not trying to throw it out there and say penis tower, but it is founded in reality. There are actually towers that look like that. Again, I'm not going to defend them for that, but yeah, I kind of see where they're coming from. Also, the priest kind of has that little, you kind of see a little penis there, even though it turns out to be a guy's big nose, but still. I mean, some little messaging, sexual stuff, Disney. I mean, gosh, we're going to have more kids. You are not going anywhere. You don't have to do this crap. And trust me, my friends, we're just seeing the top of the barrel. There's even more. Oh boy. Not in this movie, but in other movies. My gosh, man. That's sickening to me. It's also blackfish. Like black-faced fish. I mean, you don't see him a whole lot, but he's swimming in there. Yeah, you still kind of see him. You see Ursula's boobs. She's always like, oh hey, she's always like that, which is weird. Probably more sexual subliminal messaging to the parents. Hey, get more kids. Take them out to Disney movies, Stupid. You can't talk to... Ariel can't talk to the prince. So the only way for her to get the prince to like her is through her looks. It's not cool, man. That ain't cool. I mean, I think we've come farther in a species, as a species, to not look at necessarily the looks and sexualizing women. They're more than that. They've got brains. They've got opinions. What the heck is up with this? Honestly, it's teaching kids the wrong thing. Which is why I say watch it with your kids. Honestly, please. Anyway, before Ursula attacks and the final climax, there is this little scene where the voices don't sync up to the lips. I found that to be kind of bad. Okay, they should sync up and they didn't. That's sloppy. I don't know who to blame for that, but probably the editing department, but it's really sloppy to me. Ursula doesn't learn anything in the end. Honestly, those are my only complaints, really. Unfortunately, they're pretty big complaints, and they're pretty founded upon, but I mean, I'd be damned if I didn't say I enjoyed this movie, even with all the conspiracies and all the bad that's with this movie. I'm gonna say this movie is really good. I'm gonna start a new thing. Really good. It's between good and great. I can't put it as a great because there's a lot of stuff, a lot of bad stuff in this movie. But yeah, it's still. I really don't want to, but I have to. It's really good. There you go. That's all I'm gonna say. Everything. Also, the climax. The climax is pretty good climax. You know, it harkens back to like Sleeping Beauty. You know, Sleeping Beauty. How great that climax was. It harkens back to that, and it was even bigger and was better. You know, so yeah. Honestly, this movie, they tried. They just had a lot of crap left over from the Schlump #1. So there you go. Okay, guys, that's it for The Little Mermaid. Comment, subscribe, and tell me what you want me to review next. And yeah, take care.